You know what? So training camp, there's different stages you can go through in training camp and different things you work on. And weirdly enough, there was one thing I worked on, and one of the things I did work on was being confident, because Klitschko was talking about the obsession he had to win.
Yeah.
And Klitschko's trademark was obsessed. So I had in my mind, I didn't feel obsessed. I didn't feel I want to work solely on my footwork, on my hand speed. I just wanted to be confident in that type of environment. So that's why when you saw me spudding people and smiling with people, you probably thought, what is he doing?
Yeah. I feared the worst.
I was actually exercising what I've been practicing in the gym.
Yeah.
Just being pure confident. When people are like, my God, you're fighting Klitschko, this is a big fight. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Just be confident with 90,000 people and so on.
There's only one other person I can compare that to, and that's Usain Bolt. He has the ability to he goes down into his blocks, to go, bang, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
And then I saw that a little bit with you. As soon as it came that moment, the dressing gown's off, the fight's on, there was a switch you hit.
Yeah.
Absolutely a switch you hit right then.
So when I got in the ring, there's the Klitschko brothers. So Vitaly, his brother, was in the ring.
Yeah.
Vladimir staying focused, prancing up and down the ring, and then his brother staring at me, and I'm thinking, mate, like, don't worry about that. We can do a few rounds as well if you want. Because the way he was looking at me is like, I forgot who I'm fighting, so I'm staring at him. Then I feel his brother staring at me, and I'm looking at them both like, listen, I'm from the streets, bro. We can do a handicap match if you want. But I had to focus, and then that's what I mean, from the ring walk to getting in the ring ready to fight, and then you feel that energy of someone wants to take your head off. I really had to switch on and get in zone.
I just need to, I mean, I'm not one to preach to you, right? You notice I touch him a lot. I love him so much. I'm not one to preach to you, right? But Eddie Hearn's not far away. And technically, you've just said, I'd like to have a tag team match with the Klitschkos. I mean, that's not... well, we could sell a lot of tickets, though. We could sell a lot of tickets for that.
Eddie would love that.
How do you feel now going through your recovery? Because it's very important Under Armour stuff deals with that, deals with the fitness and deals with the recovery.
Yeah.
How do you feel in the last couple of days? Are you completely all right now? Do you feel very normal, or... So it's a new experience of 11 rounds into the championship rounds.
I feel very normal, and I feel motivated because I'm going to start training on Monday. Normally, as you said, people saying, so what do you do to celebrate? I've been getting my physio done. And it's boring, but I'm on a mission. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I feel. I feel normal. I've been doing my physio. Normally what you do, you go out and party, you have a few drinks, but that don't add years onto your career. So I won't be able to do what Klitschko's done and fight until he's 40.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be dedicated and prolong my career. So yeah, that's what I've been doing because I'm ready to fight again and I want to bring more nights like that to boxing.
Yeah. This is the only people will ask this connected to that. Did you have your apple crumble?
Do you know, I did, but it wasn't the apple crumble that I like. Do you know what it is? We had a chef. I've had chefs make apple crumble, but I just like the cheap Tesco one.
Yeah, absolutely, my man.
I don't know if it's artificial or how they make it, but it's just, the crumble is just molded together like like they sprayed it with something that it makes it rock hard. And
we're crumble enthusiasts. You need to know this. You need to know this. We're crumble enthusiasts.
There's a special way I like my crumble.
Well, I've given you my recipe. That's so sad, isn't it? You don't want this, really, of a superstar talking to... we're getting so many questions come, like Adele was saying about, like, what was your mind in the 6th round? What was your mind in the 7th round? We're getting all of those type of questions. So if you mind if I can lump all those in, so we get loads of them done. Right, what did you think the first time he went down? Did you think it was over? Did you go hazy?
Look at the fights I've fought before. Every time I've hit someone, if they don't go down and stay down, they get up and I take them up. They don't recover properly. Bang. So when I dropped Klitschko, I thought to myself, I had already cheered because I thought, that is it. I've won this fight in 5 rounds. Something that people thought I couldn't do, or something that people said, Anthony will win it in the first 6 rounds, or if he goes past 6 rounds, Klitschko's going to dominate. Yeah. So when I took him out in the 5th, I thought there's no recovering for Klitschko. I've won this fight already. And then obviously I got dropped the next round.
Yeah.
And then it turned into
but that's, again, I think you learned a lot in that fight. And people keep saying that, but it's true.
You show character.
That's
it
the
teaches
first thing.
you. Yeah, you learn so much. And you can do a million things in training, in routine. But when it comes to the real thing, that's when you learn who you are and how you deal with the pressure. And it was a great learning curve for me. Klitschko, all respect to him. Great champion and achieved great things. And if there was anyone I wanted to push me to the limit, I would have been happy with it being Klitschko, and he did. And we put on one of the greatest heavyweight fights in the last how many years, people are saying.
So you've talked long enough for me to forget that she wants to know what happened 6th and 7th, so I'm going to get those now. Right, so you're down. Are you hearing the crowd? Is it a blur when he puts you down? You seeing his feet? What's...
I saw his corner and I stuck my tongue out.
No.
If you watch the fight back, yeah, when I went down...
I was like this, so I didn't...
I was just, you know what, where I tried to take him out in the 5th, I'd use a lot of energy. And then the 6th round come and I was a bit tired. And I was just waiting in front of him. Instead of moving my feet, I just waited in front of him and I was just there for that sweet right hand. So I took it and I went down and I stuck my tongue out. And it was nice because it's like I got a 10-second break.
Yeah.
You need it. 10 seconds is like a lifetime in the ring. And I got up, they counted to 10. And then I just remember him coming over and I thought, all right, cool. Whatever he throws, I'm going to do my best to avoid it. So now I went into a mode where it's not about trading, it's about defending.
Yeah.
Anyone can throw punches. But they have to teach you on how to avoid punches. Yeah. So I regrouped, I avoided punches, and I whispered, well, I didn't whisper to him, but if you watch the fight back...
Yeah, you were talking to him?
I was talking to him.
Yeah.
And I just told him that, if you let me get through this round, I'm going to beat you up.
Well, bleep, that we didn't do that. That's brilliant.
And he said, I'm going to knock you out. And I said, I'm deadly serious. You let me get through. And I was talking to him in the ring.
I could see you giving it a mouth.
It's competition talk, though, isn't it?
Love it.
Yeah.
You know, and again, so many questions coming in that front. Rachel wants to know, how do you stay in the zone before a fight, which we've just talked about. He does it relaxed. You're in the zone the whole time.
With my family, friends. I could talk to you like this before a fight because there's nothing to lose.
You wouldn't win any fight with me talking in your ear.
I wouldn't mind.
You'd lose all the belts straight away. So many coming in about that. Now, a lot of people asking after the fight. And if you want to just keep it personal, then that's fine. But I just love that. I'm off to my mum's.
Yeah.
You know, your mum not allowed to watch it, you know, because you're like, I don't want you to watch what I have to go through. You know, your kid obviously wouldn't understand really yet anyway. Like,
no.
So what was that? If you want to tell me, you can. You don't have to, but go back to where you're from, kid.
With family and stuff. Yeah. It's just
been amazing.
It's chilled. It is so chilled, and that's why I keep it so separate, because work is work.
Yeah.
Even though it's entertainment, I try to keep work as work, and then the family life is family life. Yeah. And I'll always say that I've lost before as an amateur.
Yeah.
And my family never turned their back on me, and I realised that no matter what the result is, they're going to support me regardless. So I just really managed to keep the two separate rather than celebrating on a high when I won, and then when I lost, really turn my back on everyone and not want to see anyone. I take it with balance. I don't let the success get to my head, and I'll never let the failures get to my heart to the point where I'm disheartened and I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. I'm just happy to be involved in boxing.
Rudyard Kipling's if, isn't it? You know, treating victory as the same imposter as defeat. Yeah. And that gets you in the middle. So
gets you in the middle, yeah.
You weren't really expecting poetry, were you? On the Under Armour Facebook, but you know, you get what comes up. You get what comes up. There's so many questions directly about the fight, so I'm trying not to go off on my tangents because that's, you know, it's not my interview, it's these guys.
Yeah.
I think this is a brilliant question, actually. What's the first thing you remember after you won? And I love that question.
The first thing I remember after I won.
Was it a second after? Was it an hour after? Like, when did you focus in?
I looked at Klitschko, and I smiled at him, and I thought, yeah, I got you now. I got you now. And then I just took a stroll back.
Oh, you did the walk?
Yeah, but it was like a tired McGregor walk, like arms back, like just thinking. I actually thought there's two fights that I've enjoyed, and one was with Dylan, my top fight, and that one, and I thought, that was actually a good scrap, that. Yeah. And I enjoy fighting, that's what I'm saying. I don't care how tough it was, how guts and glory it was. I just thought that was actually an entertaining fight, and I was involved in it. Yeah,
and you wouldn't change the way it happened. I mean, to sum it up in a song, the story of that fight. Rising up, back on the street, took my time, took my chances. That was in my head the whole fight. But you would not go, if I offered you now to go back, rewind time, go back in there, have a second round knockout, you would tell me to go away, because how it happened was just
I don't know if I would tell you
to. It's Rocky stuff, man.
But for entertainment purposes, the build-up, the amount of people that came out, we needed a fight like that to put the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. And you can't plan a fight like that. It's not rehearsed. How do you get a fight like that? It's just two men coming together that are none of us wanted to give up.
And everyone's talking about it. Everyone's an expert now on you.
But it's a shame.
People who only watch one boxing match a year are now an expert in what you should do next.
But I think people move on quick. Do you know what I mean? So that's done and they want to know what's next.
Loads of people are asking sort of what's next, what's the next thing that you're going to do, all that type of stuff. But because I remember when I asked him in the last one. So Klitschko next, then obviously you wanted to see people fall over, hook him out of the interview, So let me just put it this way.
Yeah.
It's possible. I think no matter who you fought, Wembley would be sold out, right? That could be, which is remarkable to say, that could be your home venue.
Wow.
That place.
Wembley Arena.
You just fight.
Not Wembley, not all
At
the
the
time.
stadium, yeah, you could. You could fight me there, mate, and it does 90,000.
Or get
right?
Freddie Flintoff out.
But mate, Freddie Flintoff about 80,000. Not as many people want to see him beat up. But you mean is at that level now? The clamour for tickets is even going to double after
What I think is that who I fight has a big impact on the amount of attention, because people have always supported what we're doing, and I've been beating people early on, round 1, round 2, round 3, and they wanted to see me in tougher fights. That's what people want to see, is how many times can you get knocked down and how many times are you willing to get up?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what they want to see. So I think if I fight someone who's a Klitschko or a world champion on that level, for sure we could definitely do Wembley again, because they know my character. They know I'm willing to go to the trenches to win.
We don't care as fight fans about the zero. Like it hasn't mattered. There's so many great fighters in history. We care about that fighter.
Yeah.
That he fights the right guys. That he stands up and takes the fights when he should take the fights. You've done it early, you could argue. And that's what we love. No one ever has ever said to me, I love that fighter. Do you remember him 30 years ago? Zero. Nobody says that.
No, they remember the classical fights, how it went, and what you gave to the sport. That's what they remember for sure. And I think that fight will be amazing, because I think that will stand in people's memories, hopefully for a long time.